if someone's job creates an opportunity cost, then I think it would be a benefit to leaving your job. So I made another video where I spoke on how, somebody that's employed, it can actually be more entrepreneurial than like a full-time business owner. And the point that I was making was that just because someone decides to like dive headfirst into a business, that doesn't mean that they're more entrepreneurial, right? Like entrepreneurship is all about leverage. But when or if it gets to the point where you having a job creates an opportunity cost, then at that point, I think it's worth departing from a job. So if you don't know what an opportunity cost is, an opportunity cost is when like you're missing out on something because of some type of factor, right? Like let's say I could be generating $200 an hour if I'm doing something over here, but I'm choosing to sweep the floors, right? If I choose to sweep the floors, the opportunity cost associated with me spending time, if I spend an hour over here sweeping floors, then that means I had an opportunity cost of $200 because I could have been generating the $200. So it's sort of like a measurement of some type of like loss, right? Now, this is when it comes to opportunity cost and when it comes to you choosing like, man, like should I stay at my job or should I leave it? I would say that, look at how your business is managed and determine whether or not the time you're spending at the job is inhibiting you from something, and you have to measure that. So I've seen some folks that like they had a job and the job hours were from 9 to 5, right? And they chose to do their business from like 5 to 9. So from 5 to 9, they're meeting with people and they're like, hey, like, they're getting these projects and then they're generating revenue. The clients that they were meeting in the evening were like one tier of clients. But the clients that they could meet at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. or at 2 p.m. in the day, those clients were very different. Those clients were, the value of those clients, like what they would be paying, the revenue that they could potentially generate from them was a multiple of what they were making from the 5 to 9 clients. So what had to happen was they were looking at, all right, well, I get paid this amount at my job. I get paid, like at the time, I think they told me that they were making like 60 grand at their job. So we started to reverse engineer what the potential would be if they were to leave the job. Now, here's the thing, when you have a job, a full-time job, and you have benefits and stuff like that, it's not just about your top line salary. You have to look at your benefits. You have to look at the employer contributions for certain things. Are they matching your retirement? You got to look at lifestyle. You got to look at whether or not you truly are working 40 hours or whether or not your mental burden is closer to 10 hours or 20 hours per week. Because you have to look at all of that, because when you have a business, your business is 100% burden. Most employers are not 100% burden. You got to be honest. You have mental breaks, right? Like you're not sitting here like hustling on your job 40 hours straight. Like you're going hard in the morning and you're chilling and then you do something over here. Then you got some administrative stuff that doesn't take any mental load and you're getting paid for your full 40 hours, right? Business is a little different. Yes, you create leverage, but you're always on. So you have to look at that and you have to calculate, all right, if I'm making $60,000 at my job, what is the opportunity if I left? And the opportunity if you left better be a multiple of what you're making at the job. It cannot be one-to-one. Some people, whenever I ask them like, oh, how much do you have to make in your business for you to quit your job? They tell me this salary. They'll say, oh, I have to at least replace my salary. And I'm like, that is not, first of all, there's nothing exciting about replacing your salary. First of all, there's nothing exciting about replacing your salary. They either tell me they have to replace their salary or they tell me that they have to be at a certain level that amounts to their bills. There's nothing exciting about just paying your bills. You have to look at it. There needs to be an opportunity for you to leave. So if you're making 60, you need to be making top line, and this is income, this is not revenue in your business. You should be making income-wise 90, 100. Because again, there are other things that you're just not seeing. There are certain benefits that you may not be directly seeing that you need to quantify to ensure that you're making a solid decision. All right. So the reason I brought this up is because if you are in a position where you're like, man, like, should I stay at my job? Should I do this? Calculate what the opportunity is. There are even unseen opportunities or opportunities that's not tangible, intangibles for having a job. Some people have friends at their work. They have peers. They have aspirations. There's ladders that they want to climb, and that drives you to do different things. When you are a business owner, a lot of times you are alone. You are alone. You have to find circles. You got to go out and find circles. And even when you find circles, even the people in the circles, everybody's worrying about their own thing. So like you have to really calculate what is the opportunity and what is the opportunity cost to staying or to leaving. And at that point, you'll be able to make a solid decision.